Hello, let's talk about marketing and about the current economy. And actually a little bit more about the current economy than marketing. My name is Helmut Flasch, many of you knew that. And normally I only talk about marketing and how it will help you to sell more and by doing so make more money. For years I have kind of advocated that I don't know much about the overall economy, that I don't know how things fall in place, the way the government does it and all that stuff, and that happens to be correct. I don't know a lot about it. I don't know anything about it. In fact, 2 years ago I lost a fair amount of money with a fair amount of people who invested and worked with me and trusted me because a real estate deal or many real estate deals I worked on didn't come through the way I wanted them to come through because I didn't see coming the credit crunch, like no more credit. I didn't see it coming. I now will have to work very hard to kind of like pay those people the money back they invested in me, with me, even though it was just a business deal gone bad, but I will make even for it, as I have promised to those people. I will. Now, however, despite the fact that I know nothing about the current economy, I only know about how to make noise, lots of noise, how to shine the light on you so that people see you, and then if you have a normal and decent product, they will buy it. They will buy it more than they would otherwise, and they will see you more often than they see your competitor. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what it is all about. Even if you look at Bill Gates, the richest man on the planet, even if you look at the oil people down in Saudi Arabia, even if you look at Warren Buffett, they all own companies. They all have a product and a service which they're selling. This is what it is all about. However, I want to do something here. I'm going to make a switch, a leap, so to say. Even though I know nothing about economy, I don't know how Obamacare and everything else fits in it, and I don't know what the $1 trillion bailout, how it is put together. I really don't know anything about it. However, at the same token, I have realized I know a lot more than all those people. Why? Because our current economy, the way we're handling it, doesn't make sense. Now, grant you, I got lots of knowledge in order to come to these conclusions a little easier rather than my own observation from other people. I have for the last years observed and have seen this and seen that. I've seen home prices exploding. I have seen the government getting into more debts. I've seen people getting into more debts, including me. And I kind of wondered how, where, what is this all about? And it didn't make sense. I've worked in 4 continents and 15 countries, and one way or the other way, the people I saw succeeding and being happy were the ones who produced something, whether it was me as a waiter or a chef in Africa, or as a food and beverage director, or whether it was as a machinery engineer. One way or the other way, we produced something, and people I saw around being happy produced something, and all this is gone. And I looked at this whole thing and said, there's something wrong. So here I found some people whom I heavily suggest you should look up on the internet, on YouTube. Gerald Salende, a good old Italian boy, I guess. And Jim Roger, a good American boy. Mark Farber, a Swiss guy, I think. Peter Schiff, a guy who runs for Congress, as far as I know, no, for Senate, I think, as far as I know, in the year 2012, I guess. So anyway, go and listen to what those people say. Robert Kiyosaki, Poor Dad, Rich Dad book. Here's what's happening. The economy is poised to collapse. The dollar is poised to collapse. Why? It cannot sustain too much debt. There's another real estate bubble coming, apparently of immense magnitude. The subprime real estate market, where I lost money not by dealing and wheeling with it and hoping to deal and wheel with the subprime people, and all of a sudden it was bang, kaboom, dead. That has created, obviously, as you know, the biggest financial disaster you and me in our age have experienced. Now, what about if statistics show that the normal home loans, the prime mortgages as they call it, are going to have a similar major problem in the year 2011-12. What about? What about if commercial real estate, which has 5 to 8 year mortgages till they reset, till they have to be refinanced because there's a balloon on it? What about if they come due around 2011, 2012 in major enormous? The building I'm in, when I moved in 5 some years ago, or whatever it was, 4 years ago, had two offices empty, 3 offices empty, 30,000 square foot building, give or take. Now, there's 2 of us in it. So how can this commercial real estate refinance when there's nobody in it? They won't. Major collapse is going to happen. The American government is printing money. Did you know, by the way, did you know that in 1970, give or take, President Nixon took off the American dollar from the gold reserve? See, we kids were taught in school that there is the dollar and monies are backed towards the gold. There has to be gold in order to have dollars. Well, this is not the case anymore since 1970. All currencies basically actually stopped doing that. Well, what does that mean? That means the confidence in the dollar is fading, as you well know, and it will be fading overnight very heavy. Those experts, the ones I mentioned, Mr. Gerald Salende, Mark Faber, Jim Roger, Peter Schiff, Robert Kiyosaki, they expect this to happen in the next 1 to 5 years, give or take. Nobody can say when, and nobody can really say how much. But would you like to have your dollar half the price than it is now? Maybe a quarter, okay? In terms of purchasing power? Probably not. Would you like to be your house underwater by 50 or 60%, meaning it is, you have a loan of 500,000 and the house is only worth 200 and stuff like that? Let me tell you, there will be a reset. Now, that doesn't mean the world is going to break together, apart, no, okay? There may be an unemployment rate of 30%. That's a real 30%, not the way the government now counts the 11 or 12% or 9%, because that one is already up at 20%. Because as you probably know, in the unemployment rate, the government does not count the people who have given up looking for a job. Imagine, the people who have given up looking for a job don't count in the unemployment anymore. I mean, how much more insane and misleading can it get? What about the people who are independent contractors and lose their job? They don't count because they never, on a government dime, look for a job. I mean, for unemployment and stuff. What about the business owners like the doctors and the lawyers and people like me, consultants and anybody, plumbers? If they go out of business, they don't show up. Okay, and what about the millions and millions and millions of people who actually are working part-time, super part-time, and are yet raising a family and whatever, and basically they are very, very heavy out of a job, even though they have a small part-time job. All right, so if you look those statistics up, you will realize that we're coming very close, if not already exceeding, the statistics of the Great Depression in terms of unemployed. Ladies and gentlemen, I sincerely hope that what those people, Mr. Salenda, Robert Kiyosaki, and all those people, that what they say does not happen. I hope that my observation of what might be happening isn't happening. I really do. I don't want my house in which I give you this video to go down another $300,000, because it already has lost actually $400,000 in value. Now, and it is underwater. Okay, so I don't want it to go more there. But here is one way, and I think most of those people, at least Mr. Salendi and Mark Faber, I heard him saying, agree, and that is this. Get yourself something you know how to do. For some people, that's stitching clothes. For some people, that's making food. By the way, food is apparently a great way to do growing food and whatever. Do something, learn something, and then learn how to market it. Now, that's my input. Learn how to market it. There will be 5, 6, 7, or 9, or 10, or 20% of people. which will buy products. They might buy products a little bit less than they now buy, a lot less maybe, but they will be buying it, and you better learn how to market so that they come and buy it from you, and that will be pretty much your only chance of surviving. I hope this video helped. Bye-bye.